Good
Morning.
afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You need to do since you can sing, you can create
I can sing.
a song for us. Oh, shut up! Stop lying. You can create a maximizing Monday
A
song.
jingle. I like your
Yeah.
Maximize Monday. I like your version of it better.
I never remember from week to week. So
We got it on tape. We'll have to go back through the archives.
whatever, whatever. What's up, y'all? Y'all do us a favor and please share as we continue on our Maximizing Your Monday series.
Yeah.
Maximizing Mondays. Mondays are the day that the Lord has made. I have to remind myself that daily.
Mm-hmm.
That Mondays are the days that the Lord has made because if I could lay down and take a break, I would. You know, this is the
Yeah.
afternoon. And plus, it probably didn't help that I had tacos the day before I came here.
Oh no.
Them joints,
Yeah.
yeah, they were hitting too. They were good.
This is an off Monday for me.
It is.
Hey,
Oh,
Sister Kim.
hi everybody. What's up? What's up, Reem? How y'all doing? Please share on Periscope, Facebook. I need to share too on YouTube. Please let people know that we're on as we continue on Maximize Mondays. We hope you guys are enjoying the continued content. I know people are ready to get back to normal life. What's up, Moan? They get ready to get back to normal life. Uh,
Yeah.
but we're just glad to be here with you all. So again, please share as much as you can. We hope you enjoyed service yesterday. Let's perk up a little bit. We had our drive-in Sunday.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
Our
was. It was
second
hot too.
one.
Ooh, it was hot.
It was cooler though. I think it was a little cooler than the last one.
I
That first
was
one.
no the first one. The sun was out more. It felt more humid.
Yeah.
I was sweating like Saturday. I'm like, golly.
Yeah. No,
But
but it was a lot of
overall,
fun.
it was cool. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
doing it through the warmer months. When it started getting cold, we ain't doing
That's a different story.
it. Right. Um, I mean, hopefully by then we'll be back in the building in some
Yeah.
capacity uh, by then. But we're going to continue to take our time before we get back into the building. As we always say, your health is very important to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't speak for every state, every church, but we can speak to ours because this New Jersey, New York area has been hit harder
Yeah.
than most places in the country. So we have to be good stewards over the lives of our people as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So both of us are about to perk up some more. The cameras are on, lights are
Maximize
shining.
Monday.
Right. I'm telling you, I should have had some fruit, but those tacos were quite delicious. I shouldn't have had three of them. Yeah,
Three of them, Pastor Nick.
I had three of them. Then there was some extra meat left in the bowl, and I ate the rest of that.
Yeah. So no, the
It was
drive
almost
was
lunchtime.
actually really, really fun. I'm still like on cloud nine from that.
Really, that's good.
Yeah, I really enjoy those.
After a while, all the horn beeping. I'm like, all right, y'all, enough with the horns.
Yeah,
No more beeping.
that's the whole point.
No, after a while, not that I want to stop. But it's like after a while, I was like, oh my god, this is 50 minutes. These horns.
But you know what? Okay,
I know.
like you
I know.
can't. It needs to be
I
louder.
am a quirky person. A quirky person. But it was fun though. I'm glad people honking the horns, doing all that stuff. It's fun. I'm teasing somebody.
Yeah, and it's nice to see everyone that we haven't
it
seen
is.
in a long while.
Yeah, that's the best part. It's seeing people. Even though, like for us, we have to have drive-in service, and people have to keep their windows up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can get out of their cars unless they have to go to the bathroom. But it's good to walk around and see people in their cars and waving through the windows. And
did you ever think that we had to do something like this?
no, I don't think anybody planned for this.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do like is how we're in the age of technology, so it allows us to be able to do other things. Because if we were in the 1920s during this time, where it's very rare, in the 20s or the 30s or the 40s, where only rich people had cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, we wouldn't be able to congregate together at all.
We'd be in trouble.
Yeah. So, we're glad to, that we have this opportunity to have these different things.
Yeah.
So
Talk about
again,
maximizing abilities, right?
yes. So y'all
Everything.
share, ask questions today. We're going to talk about maximizing abilities. Figured this morning was praying about what to talk about, and so I think we're going to do each week have a different theme, have some guests on, do some maximizing your money on Mondays, maximizing your energy, there's some health and fitness stuff,
Cool.
maximizing your health. We're gonna have some doctors come on and talk to us, maximizing whatever,
Just
you know.
maximizing.
Yeah, maximizing. You have different stuff each time. Have some guests on, maximizing your purpose, maximizing relationships. We're going to talk about different things from week to week as we continue to dig in and talk about this topic. So we hope you're enjoying them. Again, please share, and we got a lot of good stuff coming out. Now, today we're going to talk about maximizing abilities, maximizing your abilities. And each week we give you a homework assignment, something to do that will help you do your thing, because we don't want you just to come on and just listen and be entertained. We just talk and y'all chat and nothing change. So we want to persuade you to take what we're talking about, not just on maximizing Mondays, but all the things we're talking about Sundays, Wednesdays, during the course of the week,
Right.
and use them to better your life. Success is not a miracle, y'all. Success is not a miracle. I hate to break it to you. There are miracles on the process of success, but success itself is not a miracle. Success requires work. It requires movement. It requires doing something. And if you want to be successful in life, it's going to require some vision. It's going to require some planning. It's going to require some patience and some consistency. There's no such thing as an overnight success. There's no such thing as an overnight success. What we call overnight success is somebody that's been working hard for years and they finally got their moment. That's what that's called. So please don't think somebody just popped out of there fast. All right, there are no microwaves in the kingdom like that. Even Paul, when he got called, had to go to Arabia for 3 years before he started going out there and being the Paul that we know who he is, who he was at the time, and who we read about today. So take your time. It took Jesus 30 years of preparation for 3 years of ministry.
Wow.
And those 3 years of ministry are so strong, we're still talking about them today. But he sat in behind the scenes for 30 years. All right. So take your time, consistency. Another thing is enjoy the process. You know, the more you complain about how come I'm not there yet, you're going to hate it. Enjoy the process of growth. Because trust me, when the lights are on and people know who you are, the responsibility to stay and grow is a whole lot harder. It's a whole lot harder once you're out there and people have an expectation of you. And most people fail because they can't meet the expectation. They're only thinking about the moment. They're not thinking about the lifestyle that comes with the moment.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So, like, what are some ways then that you enjoy the moment?
I think first is being grateful for where you are, right? It's learning to appreciate the process of growth. Obviously, God is trying to teach you something. It doesn't mean you won't get antsy or frustrated at times or want to give up. It just means that you learn to take it day by day and enjoy each small moment.
Right.
You know, the other thing too is figure out, you know, we all want to be successful in whatever we do. And we all have in our mind an image of what that success looks like. And the question we all got to ask ourselves is, do we have the right view of that? Meaning this, do we only want that success so that we can be popular? We can get attention, we can be famous?
Right.
Or is that God can get the glory, people can be helped? Or watch this, if I get to where I want to go, I got to keep working hard. We don't look at the part. We look at the notoriety part, the money part, the success part. We don't look at all the behind the scenes work. I mean, think about it. We study 7 days a week to do a 45-minute message.
People don't get that.
7 days.
Yeah.
45-minute message. You know, the preachers you admire study,
Mhm.
they read. Think about basketball. They practice all week long for a game that only lasts without timeouts, um, without TV breaks and stuff like that. Each game is literally only 48 minutes to an hour if you take all the stuff away,
Mhm.
and you're not even playing the whole entire time.
Yeah.
It takes preparation to get there and preparation to stay there. But we just look at the moments, you know,
Yeah, the
not
hard sweat
work.
and tears that go into it too.
Yeah, to maintain that. So, it's that's the part. So I think it's just learn to appreciate where you are and know that sometimes God having you behind the scenes is protection too.
Mhm.
Maybe we're not ready for where we want to go, and He's protecting you from it. Once you start getting that money, getting the accolades, you could actually lose your mind.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If you
It
struggle
feels
with,
good.
yeah, if you struggle emotionally and you ain't there yet, how you gonna feel when you get there?
Mhm.
That's not an easy thing to do. So those are just some ways to enjoy the moment. Just take it day by day and enjoy your process.
Right, right.
It all depends on how you see it. Did I answer your question?
It did. Thank you, Pastor Nick.
Sure thing. So, all right. So we're talking about maximizing your abilities. One of the first things we want you to do is want you to, first off, look at what you're good at and what you're not good at. That's important. I think we feel like if I don't see what I'm bad at, we think it's a downside to us. So I'll put it like this: if you're insecure in who you are,
Mhm.
you don't want to see what you're not good at.
Okay.
Part of success is knowing what you're good at, what you're not good at, and being okay with it.
Right.
There are some areas I thrive in, other areas I absolutely stink in. And you have to know where your strengths and your strengths and your weaknesses are, your abilities and your inabilities, and define those things.
Right.
Know what you're good at, know what you're not good at. Well, I thought about I could do all things through Christ. First off, you're taking that scripture out of context in different ways. I can't apply I can do all things through Christ to everything.
Mhm.
All right, I gotta explain that because some of y'all gonna think I'm gonna be a heretic in a minute.
Yeah, a few, I'm sure.
Right. You know, God creates all of us with gifting, purpose. We all have abilities. Yes, I can do. First off, all things through Christ, Paul is talking about how to live and how to have the right attitude no matter where you are. That's number one.
Mhm.
All right. He's talking about succeeding in no matter what environment that he's in. But I don't have the voice to be a solo singer. So I can't put a record together and say I can do all things through Christ. I can put a record together. It doesn't mean that it's going to sound good.
So I have a question.
You know,
Who determines though what's gifted and what's not? Because there are people who can't sing but know for sure that they can.
they can't sing and they think they can.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's that. Well, I mean, when you're stuck in your own thoughts and you're not real with yourself, you think you can do a whole lot of stuff you can't do. you know, um, I think we all have, like, for instance, there are some people who feel like they're called to preach and that's not their calling.
Mhm.
And it's definitely not their calling. And they can't say, I can do all things through Christ, so I can do this, but that's not what you're called to do.
Yeah.
So you got to look at what has God called you to do? What are your gifts? What are your talents? And then work with those and understand you can do all things within that scope.
Mhm.
I can't say I can do all things through Christ and start selling drugs on the side because I can do all things through Christ.
Oh God.
Now all of a sudden, I can dunk a ball. I can dunk on a court that's 30 feet high because I can do all things through Christ. I mean, come on, y'all. There's got to be some, but the reality is you have to know what you're good at, what you're not good at, and discover those things and be okay with them
Yeah.
and know that it's not a down to you not to be good at everything. It's good to know what you're good at, and it's good to know what you're not good at.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's part of it is learning to discover those things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's great at everything.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just learn where you're strong at and where you're weak at. You want to chime in on that? Or you want me to move on?
No, I mean, I'm just thinking you can move on, but like I feel like a lot of that comes in knowing who you are too.
Yes.
So maybe you can touch a little bit more on that also.
Yeah. It comes with being real about you and learning to be comfortable in you. So, for instance, I'm not good at fixing stuff. Stuff breaks around the house. It'll take me a long time to figure it out. And when I figure it out, how to do it. Now, like my wife, my brother, and them, they can just look at something, read something, and it'll take them 15 minutes to do it. I'm 2 hours trying to. It's not that I won't. It's not that I can't get better at it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not just my thing.
Right.
And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather pay somebody to come do it than me go do it myself. But it takes a sense of a self-awareness and say, you know what, it's cool, and know that God will give you people to complement you in areas where you're not good at.
Right.
So part of maximizing our abilities is first identifying them. All right. And identifying our inabilities.
Right.
And knowing that your inabilities don't take away from you as a person.
Do you think there's any value in learning the things that you don't know
There's
or
great
aren't
value.
skilled in?
Yes. Because now I'm not wasting my time trying to become great at this when I'm never going to be great at that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know?
Yeah.
Which is kind of actually is leading us to the next part of maximizing your abilities is once you discover your strengths, discover your abilities, watch this, you perfect your strengths and your abilities and you work on your weaknesses.
Okay.
Notice the way I put it. You perfect what you're good at and work on what you're not good at.
Gotcha.
But I put most of my emphasis in my strengths.
Uh-huh.
You know, I put more energy into those than I do in perfecting an area that I may not be the strongest in. So, you know, for instance, why would I, in the calling that I'm in, why would I spend 8 hours a day studying how to build a cabinet when I could be using those hours to study how to be a better teacher, preacher, leader, areas that I'm strong in?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, me doing that cabinet's not going to help what God called me to do. It'd be a good thing that I did.
Yeah.
Versus if somebody's a construction worker or a handyman and that's their thing, they would spend 8 hours doing that versus 8 hours of doing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So you perfect your strengths, you work on your weaknesses. All right. You perfect what you're good at, work on what you're not good at. And here's the thing, understanding that what you're not good at, you may never become good in. Oh boy.
That's the hard part. Because I'm the type of person, the things that I don't know, I will spend hours, like you said, trying to learn it and master it. In some cases, it works, and then in some cases, I need a little bit more time.
I'm not saying to not work on your weaknesses.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm saying is, say for instance, right? Let's use it as an example. So you do editing, camera work, social media stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just nothing too personal, but throw something out there that you don't know or aren't good at that you would spend all your time working on.
Coding. I want to be able to make from scratch, like websites and.
Well, that helps your business out. Like it's something.
Well, yeah, but was something else?
Well, let's take coding. Is that something that you need for your business or something that you want to do? Why do you want to learn it?
Because I mean, it's not something that I necessarily need to do. I can outsource and stuff for it.
Right.
But I just want to be able to do it for myself.
That's understandable. I got that. Right. So for instance, let's use that as an example. Simple.
Okay.
You got 4 hours free. right?
Mhm.
You're a good editor, but you could be an excellent one.
Okay.
You're good at camera, but you could be an excellent camera person.
Mhm.
But you know within yourself, I can learn coding, but I'll probably never be excellent in it.
Okay.
Why would you spend a whole 4 hours or 3 hours and 45 minutes on something that you will never be that great in versus taking what you have that's helped you get to where you are, right? And
Yeah.
perfecting that so it can take you even further and then spend maybe an hour learning how to code, but 3 hours on my strengths. I'm not saying
Mhm.
don't work on your weaknesses. I'm
Mhm.
saying know how to manage your time.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. Yeah.
Because if this is my bread and butter, I need to focus on this
Right.
and then work on this stuff over here, on the side. So maybe you were 15% good at it, but
Mhm.
by 3 months from now, you're 25% better at it. Versus, watch this, you're editing and all this other stuff. You learn it lightning faster. So you were 75 in June, but by September, you could be at 90. That's a whole,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
a bigger jump.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
No,
Uh,
I get that.
but everybody you admire, they perfect their strengths and work on their weaknesses.
So we have a question from Jeanette. How do you know that you won't be great at it?
you sometimes your telltale sign is that it's not natural for you to be good at it. Now I could be wrong here, and I'm willing to be wrong here. But sometimes what you're strong at, there's a natural passion and groove for.
Okay.
Like we've been talking about purpose a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
When Bishop been teaching on it, we've been doing discussions talking about how purpose gives you passion, right? And your purpose gives you passion. And out of that passion, you discover an ease in doing it. It's hard for everybody else, but for
Mhm.
you, this is kind of easy for you. Your gifts shine, your abilities shine in that area,
Okay.
right? Something in you like almost awakens when you do it. And other people are like, how did you do that? You're like, oh, just did this and so and so. You're like, well, you make it sound so easy. But for you, it is pretty easy. Like I've always had an insight into scriptures, even from a child.
Yeah.
Always. But it's a part of my gifting, you know?
So something
Um,
kind of just clicks where you get it.
you kind of click. There's an ability there because along with your purpose is a
Mhm.
passion and an ability to do it. He gives you the talents to do it, the gifts to do it, all the things you need to succeed in that area. But if you're doing something, there's no passion, there's no ability, there's no click, there's no awakening, there's nothing. That's usually your cue that you probably will never be that great at it.
But would we have that desire to want to do it if all the things are just kind of like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like all of what you just said, like if there was no passion, there was no clicking, like if we didn't have any of that stuff, why would we be doing it to begin with?
Well, like you want to learn to code, but is there a great passion to code like the other stuff that you do?
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it's not as easy, but I think it would be something I would enjoy.
No, and it is not that. It's not that some when we talk about like perfecting your weaknesses, it's not
Mhm.
that you won't enjoy it.
Mhm.
It's not that the achieving of it, you won't feel better when you do it. It's just um, doing it. Like for instance, if you can probably take or leave coding. I think you can do it like it because it'll help you out. But the challenge
Yeah.
is too.
Yeah, for
The,
sure.
the challenge is what's getting you more than the passion.
Yeah.
See, there you go. There you
Uh-huh.
go. See, yeah,
True.
the fact that it's hard is giving you that. I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah, because I don't like not being able to do stuff.
There you go.
Okay.
I, I, I don't have to know calculus. I need to know somebody that knows calculus.
Mhm.
I can learn it, but will I ever be the college grad in it? No.
Yeah.
So I mean, what did they used to say back in the day? They're a jack of all trades, but a master of
Master of
none.
none.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
know, there's something to finding what you're good at and honing that,
Yeah.
where you're mastering what you do well
Mhm.
and you're perfecting that and working on those other areas.
Got it.
So For instance, like writing books for me is cool, but it's not so like I have a passion to do them, but I
Hmm.
don't have a passion to write them.
Gotcha.
If that I know that sounds crazy, doesn't it?
No, no, it makes
Like,
sense.
like I want them, but if I could have like somebody that can ghostwrite all my books for me, I could just talk them out and they write them all for me. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But is writing a passion for me? Nah, nah. Writing is not a passion.
Hmm.
And you know what? I'm okay with it not being a passion. Is it something that I do? Yes. Will I ever quit what I do just to be an author?
Right.
No. It's just not my thing. So I'll work on that, but I may not be the best at it because that's not totally.
Hmm. Hmm. No, I mean, that makes sense. I feel like, especially when it comes to quitting,
Mhm.
people will negate all the things that they are good at, what their gifts are, to pursue this one thing that might not necessarily be in their calling. And for lack of better words, like it leads them down the wrong direction, right?
It could be, yeah. Because I mean, the question I always ask is, what is your intention for doing that?
Hmm.
Why? What's driving you to do that? Is it I got to do this because I got this thing in me that I got to be great at everything?
Hmm.
Or is it a real passion that this is what I want to do in life? You know what it reminds me of? Some, it's sometimes when somebody tells you you can't do something, it usually, for certain people, it produces a passion. I'm going to figure this out.
Hmm.
Why? Just because you said I couldn't do it.
Right.
But you can't live off that forever. You have to do that because you want to do it more than just because somebody said you can't do it.
Hmm.
I'm going to prove you wrong. That only lasts but so much time.
Right.
Here's the thing. When you finally do it, you're satisfied for the moment, but it's like, well, what's next?
It's very unfulfilling.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a fulfillment out of doing what you're called to do.
Hmm.
There's a fulfillment beyond emotions when you do it, you know?
Yeah.
So that I use that writing example of, I write, like I'm writing some stuff now, but it's not like I wake up in the morning like, yo, I need to write. I
Hmm.
got this burning passion to write. I don't have that.
Gotcha.
I don't have that. But I can work on that and try to become as proficient as I can in that area.
Hmm.
But again, like Bishop, like we talked about last week, you have one purpose of different parts that shoot off. If
Right.
I focus all my energy on writing, then I'm going to fail in the area that God called me. So I got to be able to do both,
Hmm.
but know what to put most of my energy into. Hope that makes sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah. So perfecting your strengths, working on your weaknesses. It's hot in here. Jeez.
I think the lights. I was thinking that too.
Okay. I
So
thought it was just me.
I want to hear from the people watching. Like, what are some things that during this time they've been perfecting? Because I know we talked about this
Okay.
a couple, I guess, weeks ago now. At this point, on just some different things that they're doing to maximize their time.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know. The other thing too, while they're getting that together, I was reading this book called Maximize Your Strengths. Read it a couple years ago.
Hmm.
Good book. And the guy was talking about how when a child brings their report card home, the child has 5 A's and 1 C. And then
Hmm.
ask the question, what do you think the parent will focus on when they see the report card? It's
The
going to be the
C.
C,
Yep.
right? They're going to say, okay, good about the A's, and then lecture you for a half hour
Yeah.
about that C. And then he brought up the premise of what that does to us as children as we grow. It teaches us to focus more on areas that we're not good in. Watch this. It gets us to focus on the areas where we're not the most proficient in and ignore the areas that we're good in.
Hmm.
Because we're taught to focus on what we're doing wrong more than what we're doing right. He's not saying
Wow.
ignore the C. He's not saying don't challenge a child to do better in that area. He's saying challenge to get straight A's. He's just talking about how we present it.
Hmm.
So you got 5 A's, 1 C. I say, good job in all these. And if I spend the next 45 minutes lecturing you about that C, and if I put you on punishment, what is your natural inclination going to be? To focus just on everything that you can't do, and you never learn to perfect what you do well.
Or the things that you did well,
Right? Or
you
did
don't
well.
do as well
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah. You're just like, well, whatever, I do it good, and
Yeah.
and you don't appreciate it. You don't value it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why so many of us focus so much on the negative, is because that's how we were raised. It was,
Right.
you know,
Never thought of it that way.
you could be doing great, and one thing wrong, it's like you're on punishment. You're not focused.
Right.
And you grew up with that mindset. That, for instance, what did you struggle in a certain class in school?
Math.
Right, math, right?
Across the board.
Across the board. Math was now. Were you proficient in another one?
English.
English. I knew you was gonna say that. So
Yeah.
great at English, right? Bad at math.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, right now, you're 30, or you're gonna be 30?
Jeez, Pastor Nick.
Well, you already put it out there
still got
already.
another month and a half?
A month and a half. Don't act like you about to be in the grave. Chill out. You act like you're old.
30's pretty old.
Shut up. But think about it. Think about it. Right now, if you study math 8 hours a day for 5 years straight, how do you think you would ever be as good at math as you are at English?
No.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't work on the math skills. It's just, if your English is great, we celebrate in you. You did great in English.
Right.
I celebrate you. Good job. Wonderful this. But let's kind of get these math scores up. Can we get some tutoring for you? Can we help you out? And watch this.
And then guess what? You can still do all that stuff and still not be good at math.
Right? And that's exactly what I'm saying. No matter what you do, you'll never be good at it.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you spend your whole entire life trying to fix something that you're never, ever going to be that good in?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be this world-renowned mathematician, or are you going to be good enough to get where you need to go?
Yeah.
Without being a genius in math?
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's trying to say.
No, I get that. I get that a lot. I feel like too, and I don't know if I can phrase this the right way.
Mm.
I wish that some of the people around you could help guide you in coming to that understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, I mean, I think that sometimes people do the best they can with what they know.
True. 'Cause I think people are maybe a little bit too sensitive to saying you're not going to be good at this. Maybe you should look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Exactly.
But sometimes you need somebody to tell you, to lovingly say, you know what? Why don't we? It all depends on how they say it. Why don't we focus your energies over here?
Mm-hmm.
We notice you're good. I remember one time we had this guy in the ministry. We had him doing one thing, and he was just faltering.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and being a leader, you got to take responsibility of that, because you put the person in place.
Yeah.
Move the person from this place to this place, and he thrived over here.
Wow.
Instead of saying, yo, you're out of the ministry, you're just not good, move him to an area where he's strong, and his gifts, his talents flourished. And it wasn't that he wasn't gifted, talented, smart. He was just working in an area where he was not good at.
The wrong thing, yeah.
And you need somebody sometime to guide you into the areas where you're going to be good. And you'll watch all that flourish and grow. It's okay to know what you're good at, what you're not good at. It's okay to have somebody tell you, you know what? You're strongest over here. Let's try to perfect this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I'm talking about somebody that loves you, that knows you, not somebody that's trying to just,
no, right.
take you off focus. Not like Michael Jordan's coach saying you'll never be good. When he was in high school, you look like he just like whatever. So it's a Michael Jordan reference, but it's being able to guide. One of the things I hear a lot of people say they wish they would put in schools is life classes. While they're teaching math, science, history, life, money,
Yeah.
how to do,
All those things.
all those things. And just having somebody around you say, if this is what you want to do, let's guide you on it and see if you're good at it. If you're great at it, if you're good at it and something we can work with, good. But if it's not, let's move you over here. You don't want me being a musician in church. I don't know how to play. I have no desire to learn how to play like that.
It's true.
I just don't.
So I see a question from Sid. Do you think parents are more open to guiding children to what they naturally aspire to today?
Yes and no. I think it's still the same. I heard somebody say this, which I thought was very interesting. This answered in a roundabout way. I think some parents do their children a disservice by, when you ask a kid what they want to be, they name, like, talking about a kid now, not a teenager that kind of becoming more self-aware. Kid's 6 years old. What do you want to be? They list 7 things to you. And what do most parents say? Pick one.
Yep.
Teaching a child you can only do one thing, rather than guiding that child to figure out what they want to be when they grow up, what problems they want to solve. And that's good. You want to do those 7 things. Cool. Because at 6 years old, you're going to change your mind by the time you're 7, 10, 12. Most people, how many people go to college for something at 18 and then end up doing something totally different after they graduate? You got a degree in calculus and you end up doing something totally different, art.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, none of the people that I went to school with, none of us are doing work in what we majored in.
And you kind of feel like, I kind of wasted my money.
Exactly.
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I went to college and I was like, if I could go back in time, I would have went back for something else. And you feel like you wasted all that time, all that money. I mean, I learned stuff from it.
Yeah.
But I think we need to learn to guide our children in the direction of their purpose. Guide them. Give them a chance to discover what they're good at and discover what they're not good at. And it's okay. Strengthen the areas that they're strong in and help them be good in the areas where they're weak in.
Yeah.
Talking about ability wise. I ain't talking about people being trifling. I'm talking about ability.
Right.
Those kind of weaknesses. And guide him in those areas. You gonna say something? It's like you got something on your brain.
No, I mean, So I feel like not doing what you just said kind of sets them up for like insecurity, because they have like their whole lives trying to live up to this expectation. And when it's just not in their calling or their gift, they're kind of left wondering, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, some parents want to live out their failures through their children. If I could say it like that, that sounded kind of harsh when I thought about it.
It was a little harsh, but it's true.
They want to live out their issues through their kids, so they force stuff on them that they're just not good at, or it's not somebody that they want to be. And I'm not talking about good behavior, bad behavior. I'm talking about career-wise. You want your child to be a doctor, and they love numbers and accounting, but you force them into an area where they don't want to be. Who did we talk to? Kevin on the Fresh Friday one time talked about that. He got his degree in one thing, and then as he's getting older, he's like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I've got a passion over here, and I think that especially for African Americans, it's like, just get a job, get a degree, go get a paycheck with some benefits, and that's it. We never taught them more than that. It was just go to college, get a degree, make sure you get your job and benefits.
Yeah.
And that's all we look forward to. The wonderful thing about this generation is that the kids now, because of internet, social media, are seeing more ways to make money, different ways to bring income in,
right,
rather than the traditional 9-to-5 stuff. So I think there's some hope for that and some differences because the culture is somewhat different. But before, just get a job, have some benefits, work on the same job for 30 years, and that's it. And you got dreams and ideas that you never accomplished.
Because they weren't your dreams and ideas to begin with.
Right. And it's easy to get caught up Because you get a job, then if you get a family, then if you have kids, that equals responsibilities. So now I got to work. Do I have time to work on all my dreams? Because I got to work. I got to put food on the table, clothes on their back, stuff like that. And you get caught up in that. And you just kind of turn 50, 60 years old and you say, man, I wish I could have. I wanted to do. I should have done. And you say it's what they call your shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Because I was watching, you ever watched The Bucket List with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicklaus?
Yeah,
Jack
yeah, I
Nicholson.
saw that.
And how when he found out he had cancer, he was like, yo, I just want to go out and do me. He's like, I spent all my life being, and you could tell he was unfulfilled. He's like, I worked hard. I was a mechanic. I took care of my family. I did everything to pay for them. And he's like, but I never got a chance to really live and do anything fulfilling in life. Because his whole thing was like, when you get a family, you got to do what you got to do. And I get it. But I think there's a balance. I'm trying to be balanced with this discussion. There's a balance of doing what you got to do work-wise. Because it's crazy to say, I want to be an entrepreneur and quit your job and you and your family living outside because you want to be an entrepreneur.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
You better stay on that job and work.
But that goes back to what you were saying. Perfect what you're good at and work on the things that you're not. So still, I would say, like, pursue the things that you're passionate about. But don't lose focus on the things that are bring you income.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's some things I would love to try. Like I want to try building something one time just to say I did it.
Right.
That's the only reason why I want to do it. But the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I'm like, at the end of the day, the motivation is to do it just to say I did it. But after I did it, it's like, oh, I accomplished it. I did it.
Right.
Okay. And so I'm like, do I really want to waste my time doing it when I could be spending that time doing something else? I mean, it'd be a fun thing to try, but do I really want to put all that work into it?
Right.
And it's not, I'm saying if I choose to do it, it's nothing wrong with that. But as long as I'm perfecting what I'm strong at. So I'm not going to go out there and start a lumber business or architecture business because it's something I just wanted, because somebody told me I couldn't do it. So now I'm going to prove them wrong. Take my life off course to try to prove somebody else wrong. What? Like, why?
No, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with learning coding, working on it every day until you get better at it. As long as you continue to work on your bread and butter. As they say, you dance with the partner that took you to the dance.
Right. Don't
go to the prom and change partners.
Right. I got you.
Dance with what took you there. So perfecting your strengths, working on your weaknesses. The other thing is, don't compare yourself in an unhealthy way.
That's the dangerous part.
Yeah. If you're going to maximize your abilities, you can't compare yourself in an unhealthy way. Now, what do I mean by unhealthy? Healthy comparison is I see what I do. I see what you do. And I acknowledge there's a difference. And I'm okay with it. That's healthy.
Okay.
So, we were talking on the side about editing. And I said, I might try it. Am I passionate about it? No. It's something I just want to try to help my life be a little easier and help us around here too. Yes. But I want to give it to you to do rather than me.
Keep it real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to learn it if we're in a pinch. But do I want to do it all the time? No.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Right. So I need a little shade. Look at you. So, and that's healthy because I see the difference. I appreciate your difference. I appreciate mine, and we're cool. Unhealthy is when I feel bad about me because you can do something that I can't. That's unhealthy comparison. I say, how come this person can do this and I can't do this? And I start to devalue my abilities because I don't have the same ones as you.
Right.
That's unhealthy comparison. Because I should be able to see our differences and not feel bad about me. And a lot of people discount their abilities looking at somebody else's. Oh boy,
True.
that's unhealthy comparison. That is unhealthy, and I think a lot of people compare themselves in an unhealthy way.
Hmm.
Yeah, because our differences should unite us, not make us off or separate us.
Right.
It should make us stronger.
Right. I feel like
Oh,
that's the theme for a lot that's going on right now.
why you say that? Explain it.
I mean, even just going back to racism and everything else, like, yes, we are each different culturally,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of looking at it as a negative or even a threat, um, like you said, how can we work together?
Yeah, yeah. We learn to celebrate our differences
Hmm.
and understand that your strength makes up for my weakness, and my strength makes up for your weakness. That's how the kingdom works.
Hmm.
If the Bible says, if everybody was an eye, where would the hearing? If everybody was the hearing, where would the smelling be? We're all supposed to be different so we all can connect together.
Right.
So if you and I are working on a project, you may have the tech ability and some other abilities. I'll bring different abilities, and we end
Mhm.
up making something
Right.
together. That's the point of how the kingdom works. But if I'm too busy, she can do that and I can't. It's not fair. Then I'm devaluing what I bring to the table
True.
because you can't do what I do and I can't do what you do.
Right.
So we work together as a team. That's the way it's supposed to work. But if I feel unhealthy comparison, then I start hating on you. I'm envious. I'm jealous because all jealousy is rooted in insecurity.
Right. So when you find yourself in those moments, how do you get past them?
You got to check yourself. You got to know when you're talking crazy. And it's not about changing the person. It's about changing me on the inside.
Hmm.
It's about fixing me and how I feel about me. Because I only feel bad about me if I see you because I feel bad about me. It ain't about you.
Right.
It's about how I see myself. That's the issue. So I was reading political science is one of my favorite classes in college, and we were reading Pericles' funeral message, right? And he said this is how envy starts. He said envy starts. I'm paraphrasing here by comparison. So if I look at me, look at you, I know everything that's wrong with me. I know everything that's right with me. I see all the good in you and see some of the bad in you.
Hmm.
But as I keep comparing myself, okay, I got this good, this bad, she got this good, this bad, and I keep doing that comparison, eventually, because I don't know everything about you, your bad will stop. My good and bad will just keep going up and up
Mm.
and up. So now I see the worst in me,
Wow.
and I only see a little bit of bad in you and great good in you. And
Hmm.
I start being envious because I don't know what it takes to be you. I don't know all your issues.
Right.
I know all of mine though. So it looks like you're better than me. And it's all about how I feel about myself.
Right.
It's called self esteem. It's not called other people esteem. I dislike me. So I think you dislike the same thing.
Hmm.
So now I look at you and I feel bad about me. It's really not about how you see me. It's about how I see myself and how I
Right.
perceive you see me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
It's true. Yeah.
It's called in security, not out security. In security. It's how it's me.
So if
It,
everybody just minded their own business, we'd be okay.
I mean, no, not necessarily mind your business. It's learning to appreciate you and appreciate other people.
Hmm.
I can see the outside and say, you know what, this person's great at this person's good at this, and say, you know what, let's celebrate that.
Right.
And then learn to celebrate what I do well, you know? And that's hard sometimes for some
Hmm.
people because but you have to be able to self-check and self-talk and be secure in yourself because it's all rooted in insecurity.
Hmm.
You know, nobody. If a couple's walking down in a mall and you notice somebody that your person you with is attracted to, if you got to grip them up tight when they're walking by the person,
That's
you're
a
not that comfortable in a
problem.
relationship.
Yeah.
Either the person's giving you a reason not to trust them, or it's you being insecure, not realizing that they may like that, but they with you,
hmm
and you don't you.
You're just causing more problems in your life.
There you go. So it's about how you see yourself. So comparing yourself, don't compare yourself in an unhealthy way, because you won't appreciate your abilities. All right, I ran and raved on that one.
That was a good one. I'm taking that in.
So it's a work. It's a lot of internal work. It's a lot of internal work, and it's easy to slip into it. The unhealthy comparison. It's very easy, but it starts with celebrating. But I think a lot of that goes back to what we talked about earlier.
hmm
You're so focused on what you're not good at, who you're not, how you don't look, how I don't have this, and you're so focused on everything that's wrong with you that you can't appreciate the good stuff that's with you.
Yeah.
You know, Paul says, I've learned to be gracious and joyful even with this thorn, because he recognizes that the thorn is not all of who he is. When you think your thorn is all when you think your thorn is all of who you are, that's all you'll focus on, and you'll feel bad about yourself because you, instead of having a thorn, you think you are the thorn.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, let's take looks. You're more than your looks. But if all your value is in how you look,
And that changes.
that changes.
Yeah.
You know, gravity starts taking over the older you get. Stuff starts adjusting.
Yep.
You used to be able to eat pizza and nothing. Now you eat a slice of pizza and 3 pounds later, you like, what happened?
Yeah.
Speaking of, what we gonna eat for lunch?
Well, see, I had brought some fried chicken, some wings.
Don't get started on that
From
conversation. Pastor Prescott, I know you watch it. What you want for lunch? We need to eat some. I need to get a salad or something.
So
That's
how do you become the best without comparing?
Again, it goes back to healthy versus unhealthy comparison. If I see you succeeding, I should be able to celebrate your success, learn from it, and try to be better too. You know, let's look at this in the kingdom way. Versus, I see everybody as competition. I got to take everybody out.
Mm.
You know, this is not like sports where one of us has to lose. If me and you have the same business, right? Both of us do social media editing and all that stuff like that. There's enough out there where both of us can eat.
Mm-hmm.
There is no championship for the greatest editor and social media person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right, Pastor P. She's always ready for some food. We got to order some food somewhere. I need a salad after those tacos I ate earlier. But, you know, what was I talking about? I got lost in food.
Comparison.
You know, very few things divert me, but food is one of them.
That you know.
But all of us can eat out there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that because it's not a bad thing. It's just I don't. You know, somebody may watch this and they might be like, "Oh, he talking about me." So,
Okay.
But it's just. I was just using a comparison issue I put up one time, where I was like, you know, I'll use a business example. We talked about this on Saturday. Not every business that somebody starts is going to be a Facebook, you know, Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
Fortune 500 big company. Some may be a small mom and pop shop, and they work in the community. Some may grow to like a smaller business with like, you know, a couple $1 million in revenue.
Yeah.
Some of this, some of that. The whole goal is to be the best you could be, make the money, serve the community, do all that great stuff. But everybody's not going to be at the same place. Doesn't mean you don't shoot for the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but at the end of the day, I mean, they're not giving out a reward. There's enough to eat out here for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm saying. Learn from the person. If that person's better, you something learn from them. Which
Right.
actually was one of the points, but we'll talk about these next week because we got 5 minutes left. We'll talk about these next two next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Learning from people. What are they doing well that I'm not doing?
Right. Actually, reach out to them too and be like, hey.
Yeah. We're going to talk about mentoring and stuff next week.
Yeah.
But think about like Jeff Bezos, right? Do you know how much money he made since March?
I can imagine a lot.
They said that they added the billionaires' wealth up in March, April, May, June, which at the beginning of June, so late those 3 months, right? They made $568 billion in 3 months.
Wow.
All of them combined. Bezos made, I think, almost 30 to 40 some odd $billion in 3 months. Because everybody's ordering stuff on Amazon. What do you say?
Right. Wow.
Facebook made about Zuckerberg, 30, I think it's $38 billion just in 3 months. I mean, I'm not mad at people that are wealthy. I'm mad at a system that benefits the wealthy and hurts the middle and lower. That's what I got a problem with. I'm sorry.
He dropped his water bottle.
Yeah, it's water, y'all. They thought it was beer on Friday. It's water.
H2O.
So, well, we'll talk more about that next week. The mentoring, the learning from each other.
Yeah.
Help each other out. So,
okay.
So what did we learn today? Let's recap. Unless you have something else. Good. No, good.
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of people miss opportunity because they're too busy looking at it as competition.
Right.
But we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, because you may be able to do it, but are you doing it my way though?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got a lane, and our job is to get in the lane. But are you doing it my way?
Right.
When you find your unique voice, your unique way of doing it, it'll attract the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It will attract the crowd. I mean, look at this. Is everybody going to have a church of size? No. Some people may grow up to 500, 600, some 100. It should be more than just your family. But, does that mean that, one church is greater than the other one all the time? Not necessarily.
Right.
Some people are just gifted for and purpose for certain sizes. It doesn't mean a church with 300 members is any less anointed, any less gifted. It just depends on God's purpose for that place and for the pastor of that church.
Right.
And it could be partly that part of it could be that this one person is doing something that the other person's not doing. They're willing to put in the work and the effort. Those things are true. But if you got somebody working hard, believing in God, trusting God, doing their thing, but this pastor say they cap off and only have 300-400 members, but they're working that 304 members and they're doing great things in the community, it doesn't mean they have any less Holy Ghost of God.
Right. Intention.
Small church doesn't mean healthy. Big church doesn't mean healthy. You can have a place with just having numbers. But that's a whole nother discussion right there. All right. So what else we've got coming out? Anything today? We got recap today, right?
Recap today. We have a live video with Bishop. Daddy Talks are coming out.
Okay.
A lot of cool stuff.
Okay, good. That's today.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow, anything?
We'll post a schedule.
We'll post a schedule, yeah.
But one thing I do want to mention, this week on Friday at 7, we're having a panel discussion of moms who are talking about raising their sons as Black men. So that's going to be really good.
Good. It's Friday at 7. You know what you're going to call it? Moms
Raising Black Men. We can talk about this later.
Y'all get ready. June 14th through the 19th. Power of God. We got some special stuff coming out for you guys. We're going to start announcing it this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's next? Is it next? It's not this Sunday coming, is it?
It starts the 14th. Yep.
This Sunday coming. So yeah, we're going to make some announcements, get it out there. What we're doing POG online this year. We're excited about that. Also, if you want to celebrate any fathers, grandfathers, play fathers, send us a video, send us a picture, email it to social@GoToBethany. We're doing a Father's Day compilation because they be forgetting about us on Father's Day. So I got involved on Father's Day.
That is not true.
They was about to give us just a
We
sermon
were not.
in one video. So we're putting stuff out for
I don't
Father's,
listen to Pastor Nick.
and it's going. You know how we are. You know how the Father's Day, all we get is ties, piece of chicken.
But
some
here's what we really need you to do, though.
Mother's Day, get whole dinner,
Yes.
gold jewelry types, and everything. Go ahead.
No, but in order for us to do something special for Father's Day, we need people to send in their pics and their videos showing Dad some love so that we can include them in our Father's Day celebration. So
Send them
send
in.
it in.
Dad, grandfather, play father, send them in. All right.
Social at GoToBethany.com.
Social, I go to Bethany. I got involved in Father's Day, y'all. We got some good stuff coming out. Is that next Sunday?
It's the 21st. You don't even know when the day is.
Look, you better be glad I know today is Monday. Shoot. Okay. And then Men's Day's the 28th. Well, we got to talk about Men's Day too. Men's Day the 28th. Also, we are looking for content creators. If you are a content person, can write like Instagram posts, stories, presentations, that kind of thing. Email social@gotobethany.com. We have some ideas. If you're good at writing, videos, all that good stuff, we're looking for some content people to help us continue to put some content out for the church. All right. So if you're interested in that, please email social@gotobethany, because we want to utilize our talents and our gifts to glorify God and help people during this time. All right. Are you good? Anything else?
That's it.
Cool. If all hearts and minds are clear, the Lord bless you all. The Lord keep you. May heaven smile upon you. See y'all later.
Bye.